I don't need just play-by-play with his daughter driving in the car. Okay, looks like we're loading up here. Hopefully, people find the new live stream. Okay, we are in. There we go. All right. What's up, everybody? Hope you found the real live stream. The last one ended very abruptly. I'm going to blame the gremlins in the machine for that. We are back. We are so back. But first, I want to share with you, my friend, Tyvis, with our intro. Go, Tyvis.
Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
All right. Thank you, Tyvis. We appreciate you as always. I forgot to do the intro the last couple of weeks, but we are back. Hello again, Billy. Sorry about the technical confusions. We had riddled with some rodents running through the wires, chewing them up. So apologies for that. Appreciate everybody for joining us. Sorry, we're a little late. Shawn, konnichiwa. How are you doing?
I don't know which ends up. I just got back less than 48 hours ago, but I'm here. Got some new gifts. We'll describe briefly to you here from back from Tokyo.
For me?
And things are looking up. No, for me.
You got
maybe for you next time, but my suitcase is only so big, bro.
Oh, how many? You could fit plenty of Japanese girls into that suitcase, I'm sure.
I was gonna say they're really small, Shawn.
Fold up nicely.
I got to get a bigger suitcase. Next trip.
Check
Can you
it
check
bags.
two?
Going.
Can you check two bags?
If we're gonna,
Maybe,
I could. Yes, I could.
What's the weight limit?
Maybe
on
some golf
international
clubs. Get one of those big golf club cases.
No, let me tell you that Japan is a Blanton haven. You can get that shit. The red's really hard to come by, but there's bottles. There's bottles available readily. Except for that red. I found one of the red, and the red Blantons was a Japanese only.
When your partners are business people, do you think we need to get that stateside, man?
I know, but the Japanese one, the red Blanton's red was only released in Japan. And is it just me and you, Jeff?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Joe's here.
Thought I lost you. And we found one bottle of it, and it just so happened my customer also wanted to get a bottle of that, and so I had to acquiesce and let him take the Blanton's red that we found that had a price tag. He paid about, I think, right around $70 for it. I paid $40 for the Blanton's black.
See, that's my question: is why are they making this Blanton's black at only 80 proof?
I don't know, but I got to tell you, I've got it in my hand right now, and it's pretty smooth. I like it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm sure it's smooth, but why is this so? Pardon my whatever. Why do they make this make their bourbon and stuff and like a lower proof? Because I've seen this in multiple brands from Japan. Is this typical?
Probably. They don't like to get all tore down like that. They don't like to get too juiced up on the sauce, so they keep it simple. I don't know what because the box didn't say on the red, and the guy didn't take it out of the box, so I don't know what proof that was. There's also a gold available, and the gold runs about 150 US. Good exchange rate right now, by the way. So stuff is cheap in Japan right now. Okay. And I think that one runs the same as regular Blanton's at 103 proof, but I don't know about the red.
Yeah.
where that
Well, the
falls.
red and the gold are available in the US. But
The red,
yeah.
the red, what I read was only released in Japan, unless people are bringing it back already. But the
well,
black
yeah,
and the gold, I know probably are.
they're charging like 160, 180 for those because they're different from the regular blends. But anyway, regardless, it's interesting. I wondered why they're creating an 80 proof bourbon in the US. That just seems like ass backwards. But if it's only
Yeah.
for Japan, I get it.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it in the US. I've only ever seen regular blends in the US, and that's pretty rare sighting. That's you don't see that every day.
Yeah, I cannot find Blanton's down here. You can't find it. Nobody has it. Liquor stores, I ask them about ordering and stuff. Nobody can get it. They're like, no, we can't get that. You know, it's like a dumb question.
Well, this liquor store around the corner from me over here on Gulf Boulevard, they try and, put the screws to the tourists because it's right across the street from the beach. So regular blends, they're charging 150 for, so, and then they have the black, occasionally the red, and then they crank it up, accordingly. So I've seen it. It's behind the counter and they always got stuff like that. Just, I'm not going to pay that, I can find it online cheaper if I really want it. I got regular blends here. I just cracked a new bottle the other day. And by the way, if you guys need those toppers, if anybody's collecting them, if you guys are or somebody else, I have like a handful of the toppers, different letters. So
I want to get all the bottles and collect it. I don't want to take some. I don't want to just take the caps just to collect them. I want to get the bottles and earn them.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I want to get the bottle. I don't want just you giving me your extra caps. I want to get the bottles. I want to enjoy the bottle, then keep the cap, like how you did.
You're gonna have to buy like 15 bottles, at least.
Fuck. I mean, I would love to. If I would see one, I'll start with one.
All right. We got some people in the chat. All right, Billy.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for bearing with us. Eric, appreciate you. How you been? Good to see you. Tyrone is back. I love it when Tyrone's in here.
Hell yeah.
Tyrone always brings it. I chatted with my guy Israel today. We are building up a solid community. I'm telling you. Here's Daniel. Daniel's in there. He's been a mainstay as of late. Who else? Oh, Sue. Sue has been messaging me. She really wanted the special teams breakdown because I ran through all the position groups. Stephen Cherry. It's not a Sunday night without Stephen Cherry, right? I mean,
Mad Dog Stephen Cherry. Gotta love him.
Waiting for his first prediction of the night.
It is real cool, Joe. It is. I'm glad that we're finally getting some following. I mean, we can talk to each other all the time, but it's nice if other people are enjoying it too.
My guy PC, he's the first. He's like, if you can have an OG of a 1 year long show or 8 years as we have been, but YouTube Live has only been less than a year for us. PC, we appreciate you. He doesn't get in every Sunday night, but he is probably the original gangster of this show. Billy running a close second, and may take him over. Billy is definitely maybe taken over the most commenter guy.
Well, Stephen Cherry and Tyrone been there as well, I feel.
Since they've been there for a bit. Yeah, I'm not slandering anybody. I mean, we got a really great community here. So if you guys want to support the show, just hit that join button. Join the community. I've got a ton of stuff coming. I have 10 highlight videos right now of recruits, only available to members of the YouTube community. You join right here through YouTube. It's easy. I'm not involved in the transaction at all. YouTube takes their cut, but regardless, there is a ton of info in there. If you check out that community tab, I'm posting stuff multiple times a day, especially today. There was so much shit popping off. And Temper's another guy, been around for a while. But I'm posting stuff there multiple times a day, especially this month. This is going to be hot and heavy. You guys got to keep your eye out. So if you want to support the show, help us out, click that join button. I'd really appreciate it. But I'm not going to give you a hard sell. It's an option for you. All right. So there's more content if you want it. And it's mostly recruiting focused. So Travis, we haven't seen you. Good to see you, Travis. IO. Yeah, everybody's jumping in the chat. I love it. The Sunday night show is really popping. Yeah, we got some recruits. Everybody wants to talk recruiting in the chat right now. I don't want to spend too much time, but we had some major news come out today. Jeff and Shawn, not sure if you guys are aware. Do you want a quick update?
Please.
I caught some of it, but go ahead and give us a run through, Joe. Make sure everybody's up to speed.
Okay. So some of these posts I put out are for members only, but post on 4-star safety from New Jersey, Jalen McLean had just got 3 crystal balls dropped to the Buckeyes today. Just happened. All right. So I would consider that a strong Buckeye lean. It's about time we get some defensive booms, right? I mean, everybody's been clamoring for it. I know. Then you got Marquise Lightfoot. He is definitely, he's gotten, a future cast from Rivals. That's basically their version of a crystal ball to the Buckeyes. He's the 4-star edge rusher from Chicago. Yeah. Visited Ohio State multiple times. Then a lot of shit popped off in the crystal ball world today. You got Reggie Powers, the safety in state. I believe he's from Circleville. Crystal balled. I think he got 5 today to Michigan State. He had his offer. His offer has been sitting in his lap to Ohio State all summer long for months. And it looks like he's passing on that. That was a committable offer. So also you got edge rusher Elias Rudolph. He's the kid that is from Cincinnati. His mom moved to Deerfield Beach, Florida. He went with her, now is going to go back to Cincinnati, finish his senior year in Cincinnati, but he just received a crystal ball to Michigan. So, but still has one crystal ball to Ohio State that has been out there for a while. So I don't believe this Michigan crystal ball because it's from a nobody on the Michigan beat. So not a big, not a heavy crystal ball. It's more of a lighter, almost a marble, I would call it.
Scumbags throwing out smoke signals.
Exactly.
If I may, real quick, I just don't get
Shawn.
what I just don't get why the kid's going to go to Michigan State, or if that's where you're at. I mean, by all indications, Michigan State's going to be a train wreck. Unless there's some like immediate playing time that the kid's interested in. I don't see the pull there. I know they got that United Warehouse mortgage and some other big donors. Maybe there's some NIL, but that just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But
if they have another subpar year, I'd be questioning that buyout for old Tuck.
What is that buyout, man? That was a $95 million contract that was paid over fully by that guy you were just talking about, Shawn. The guy that now owns the Phoenix Suns.
That was a panic hire. They were like, we're gonna get nobody because Fickle didn't come, and they're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And they're like, all right, pay this guy.
This guy made Colorado 7-5. Let's hire him.
He didn't want to come either. He didn't want.
It took him like 3 tries.
They got him because he worked under Saban. He was from Saban's tree.
He worked in Ohio State. He worked in the NFL.
But when they say Tucker, from Saban's tree, you got another guy moving into the Big Ten.
Right.
Fuck, whatever.
But The good news, let me finish our recruiting segment here real quick. 5-star Buford, Georgia, defensive lineman Edric Houston, crystal ball to Ohio State. This is massive because we need edge rushers, D linemen, anybody on defense, for Christ's sake. Let's be honest. So a crystal ball to the Buckeyes. Hopefully that stands up. We get Lightfoot, Edric Houston. That's a good combo on the D line.
Yes.
So, all right. Let's calm down.
Georgia kid, DN.
Yeah. Buford, baby.
Where Raiola's going. Right? Isn't that where Raiola's transferring to?
Apparently.
This month, it's his rotational move around the country and play quarterback.
Right. So,
I think that's going to be, never mind, go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
So we appreciate everybody joining us. Please pull up a stool. Let's pour a drink, talk some Buckeye football. Hit the subscribe. I know most of you are. The regulars definitely are. Hit the bell. Today, I'm feeling very generous with you guys. So I'm handing out free 1-month memberships to whoever wants them. All right. So,
I'll take one.
Sold.
Seriously?
Sold.
Let me see if I can put together some. How do I gift people? I'm gonna have to figure out how to gift you guys memberships. So if anybody's interested, just put your hand up. Let me know you're interested in a 1-month free membership to the TBC Friends community. You get access to the community message board. It's all right here through YouTube. You don't have to go anywhere else. And all the videos, everything that I put out for the recruiting and stuff. So hit me up if you're interested in a free 1-month membership. All right. Okay. Let's get on with the show. First thing is the Big Ten schedule release. All right. This happened on Thursday. Since Shawn just got in, I really want to get his reaction, but Jeff too, because I don't think we've heard from him yet. Let's talk Big Ten going to divisionless in 2024. They announced conference opponents with UCLA and USC jumping into the fold, sticking to a 9-game schedule, conference schedule anyways. Not a big surprise there, but in a 4-year period, I think the goal of this is for every team to play each other twice, home and away. Seems like an impossible task if you ask me, but it's not my problem. So Shawn, you want to Jeff and Shawn both, you want to jump in on the divisionless play? You think this was an obvious move?
Yeah, to me it was, because it was just going to be so misbalanced. I mean, maybe you could have done it to have USC take over that West and maybe brings Nebraska back to something, but I like the divisionless now that, football's going to this bigger playoff, especially. It makes sense. What I do want to know, are they still going to do championship games, or the winner wins conference?
They're doing a tiebreaker system. So top 2 teams go to the championship game, and there's probably going to be a tiebreaker for the second team, unless there's a head-to-head,
Well,
like Michigan,
I'd rather
head-to-head.
Well, maybe it still makes sense now, but when do we start the 12-team playoff?
24
I feel like
next season.
I feel like we should just
Not
do
this
away with the
season.
Big Ten. I feel like we should do away with the Big Ten championship game. Play the schedule. Whoever wins it, and then you're off to the playoffs, and that second team and third team and fourth team are all going to be back in there. So you're going to have a chance to prove it. I just feel like the number of games is getting ridiculous. 9 Big Ten teams, that's a lot. And then to throw a championship game on there, and then, hopefully a 3-game run to a championship. I'd say get rid of the championship games on that. But no, as far as the scheduling goes, I kind of like the way that they're doing it. I was worried that it was going to be, all about the money, frankly, and it would be Ohio State, USC, and USC, Michigan, and USC, Penn State. And I feel like they broke it out more fairly.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a super chat. We don't get super chats very often. Thank you, Daniel. He says, I think the Big Ten should have kept OSU, Penn State protected. So that was leading me right where I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And Penn State has no protected rivals. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Well, they don't have a natural rival. They have a competitive rival with us because since they've been in the league, since '94, I think, roughly, they played Ohio State every year, and we're the only Big Ten school that has played Penn State every year since. Because we're the closest thing to a rival they have, but you're talking Rutgers, Maryland.
We already have a girlfriend, though.
Yeah, right. I mean, we just.
How many do you need?
So we got the Penn State side piece, but they don't like Penn State side piece is only waiting on our call. They don't have any other calls they can make. So
they are the side chick.
I definitely wanted us to be playing Penn State every year because the bottom of our conference is as bad as in the bottom of any conference in the country. So, if we're still going to be playing Rutgers and Indiana and Illinois and not playing Penn State, but every 4 years,
right?
Like we need, and I don't know. I think Penn State needed us. Now we don't know all the facts. Whereas if Penn State was saying, I think we might be good not playing Michigan and Ohio State every year because that'll give us a chance. I wouldn't put it past them thinking, with that mindset. But I still think it's Ohio State. We acquiesce to the rest of the Big Ten. Like we'll go along with it and make sure you guys are all taken care of.
Right.
We don't flex
For
our
the
muscle
most part.
enough.
Yeah.
You know, we have the big muscles. We should flex them, I think. Yeah. So I disagree with not having Penn State protected. I think it's one of the best rivalries, in conference. Obviously, Ohio State, Michigan's number one. Then out the West, Wisconsin and Minnesota, they play for fucking trophies or whatever. But the long-lasting rivalries. But like most competitive rivalry is Penn State, Ohio State.
Well, I was made aware, and I completely forgot there is actually a trophy between Michigan State and Penn State. I think that's the land grant trophy.
I feel like when Michigan State was good, that was a good game. That was a good rivalry. It was a burgeoning rivalry, but Michigan State just couldn't maintain.
I like Michigan versus Penn State. I think that should be a protected rivalry. That's always a sledgehammer game, man.
Yeah, and that game, on the road, they
can make that a whiteout.
Yeah,
when it's in Penn State.
Penn State should have had us and Michigan as two protected, but I'm thinking maybe they weren't fighting for it. They were like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We'll be fine either way, because that's usually 2 losses for them. I mean, now they've gotten Michigan over the past couple of years more than obviously they've gotten us. But if they figured we can scoot by without divisions and we can scoot by without playing Ohio State and Michigan, that gives them a real good shot at sneaking into one of those spots in the title game. And Shawn, to your point about the Big Ten title game, it's too much money, man. They'll never get rid of it because it's the fucking money draw. That's why. You're right. It doesn't make sense. Like what you talked about.
Kevin Warren couldn't sell something. He can't leave us hanging with nothing. He tried to sell something he couldn't sell, but it still exists. I don't know where I was going with that. I said that all wrong.
Oh, we can slam Kevin Warren for an hour if you want. I mean, I'm good with that. I got enough ammo.
Yeah, that's a long show. Let's check the chat here real quick. We got a lot of people chiming in. Travis says we might play Michigan 3 times in 1 year. That would be wild, Travis. Odysseus, I haven't seen you in quite a while. Good to have you back.
I love that name. Love the name.
Beating those clowns 3 times in a year would be glorious. Yep, no shit. The good point by Billy. I think Billy is on board with us in that the game will lose some of the mystique, some of the aura, some of that value, I would call it. But Stephen Cherry, of course, loves the idea of kicking Michigan's ass back-to-back weeks and possibly a third time.
Well, we all think of that, but the last couple of years, Joe, I mean, they beat us twice in a row, 2 years in a row. So at home. So, I mean, yeah, I would have liked a chance at redemption in a 12-game playoff or a Big Ten title game. Yeah. But 2 years ago, we did not play anywhere close to being able to play with Michigan. They might have beat us 3 times 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Odysseus says Penn State versus Team Up North for the peanut butter jelly projectile trophy.
Put that on a shirt.
Projectile.
Put that on a shirt.
Did they preserve that Ohio State Michigan is the last regular season game of the year for us?
No, they did not specifically say that. Now,
that's up to the schools, right?
Well, it's up to the TVs. It's up to the TV networks. I mean,
and that's still that's rivalry week. That ain't going to change anytime soon, I wouldn't think.
Probably not. But
better
so
not.
They put out the what's called 2-play opponents for the conference, and so everybody has some opponents they're going to play in 24 and 25, and it's not determined which is home, which is away yet on all these teams, but like Ohio State is playing Illinois and Northwestern. Michigan is a protected rival. So that is who we're playing home and away in 24 and 25.
Disgusting.
Yeah. A lot of these are bad, but check out USC's 3 teams. They have a protected rivalry with UCLA. Kind of have
they should
because
they should.
Is on the West Coast.
And that's a rivalry. I mean, that's a rivalry for them out there. Right. I mean, that's their biggest rivalry besides Notre Dame.
But then their 2-play back-to-back seasons, Penn State and Wisconsin.
Welcome to the big. Welcome to the big.
I say right now, Fickle gets them in Madison.
He could. They haven't played real defense, nor have they added real defense. But all right. Before we get going too far, let's talk. Quick reaction from Shawn on Swamp Kings, the Florida Gators documentary. How do you feel about that, Shawn? You think this is going to be worth watching, or just a snooze fest?
No, I'm usually not into those things so much, but as I mentioned to you, I think this thing's like a cross section of the entire country, where you have some of the goodest, some of the best dudes in my opinion, and some of the worst dudes in my opinion, and a bunch of colorful characters. And if Herb's going to be in there a bit and the production quality's there, I got a feeling I'm probably going to watch this one. So when does that one drop?
August 23rd, right before the season starts. Week before. All
right, get me lathered up for some. I think we're still looking for that Percy Harvin guy.
Yeah. What happened to that guy?
Well, I don't know, but every year they're like, every team Meyer coach, this is his Percy Harvin. This is his Percy Harvin.
Oh, yeah, that was the position everybody wanted. Yeah.
And Curtis Samuel was the last guy we had that was comparable. Remember, we broke down all the stats in 16 of Percy versus Samuel, and Samuel was more productive. But we didn't have Jeff Demps and Riley Cooper and everybody else that they had, and Hernandez and everybody else in that offense. That Percy Harvin guy. Percy Harvin, if they break down the stories on him, he punched a coach in the face. Is the story I heard. Maybe his position coach, even.
I don't know about that.
It was a story I heard. Now I just know it was not proven. It was not stated as fact. But there was rumors of it from the like the guys following the beat or whatever.
Well, we might find out. We might find out.
How much do they gloss on? Do they just gloss on Hernandez being a murderer? I mean, if they just spend a half hour on that, I don't want to see it. And I think Tebow's the only good guy in the whole bunch. I think there's one solid guy, and then a bunch of,
Well, just supposedly they got Tebow and Urban Meyer to talk on this documentary specifically, but I don't want it to be, a fluff piece either. Just because you got Herb to talk doesn't mean you can, suck his cock and paint him.
Oh, no, but you probably had to pay him $1 million. It's like, all right, fine.
Maybe not. But you could look at it this way: if they were going to do this documentary anyway without him and going to put out whatever they wanted, maybe at least he gets to put his 2 cents in there and refute or respond to some of the negative shit, because he saw the headlines over the years. There's no question about it, so maybe he at least has a response or something to all of the crap that was in the media. Right.
He got to say on the thoughts at the final cut or whatever, no, I can tell you if this was a lie, you got to let me tell you it's a lie and you can't put it in if it's not true. Or, I would think he probably has some aspect like that. I would imagine.
Right.
Because he knows it all. I mean, he knows everything that happened with them. I mean, so, but you never know. You never know if Urban's going to actually be honest about, he's not going to make it. He's not going to want to make it look any worse than what it's already been talked about over these years.
But he does want to have the opportunity to respond, or at least put his spin on whatever,
and I think he should.
Has been in the media.
I think a coach that won national titles, I think they should have that. Any coach in that position, whether what you image of Urban, what you feel about that or not, any coach, Nick Saban, any of those coaches should, doing a documentary about their team that they ran for years in this stretch of like a dynasty type period. They should have be able to rebut any claim that they don't feel was accurate or too cunning, or not cunning, but too destructive to the guys. I mean, I think they should have a right
good
to
TV.
reflect.
Get under Urban's skin for 5 minutes. Drive a fucking wedge into his armpit and see what comes out. I want to see that guy under pressure on camera. That would get nuts. You start mother effing you, which is great TV. But Timber says he'd rather see one on Free Shoes University. I don't know. That was seemed like a short time period. That was so long ago. I don't know if you have to be of a certain age to remember that, right? Peter Warwick.
Early 90s. Yeah, Warwick Dunn. Yeah. The early 90s. But there was an 8-year stretch, Joe, that they were top 5. Florida State was top 5 for 8 years in a row.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We didn't see a lot of headlines other than the Free Shoes University, guys going into Dillard's or whatever at the mall, getting free shit. I mean, but there was no camera phones back then. There was no coverage of it.
Right.
It was basically rumored and hearsay. Whereas
all we have is Spurrier. Spurrier came up with the free shoes. You can give me a half hour of Spurrier talking about Florida State. I'll watch that.
Right. But so it's like pre-internet age, things are information's hard to come by that's legit. But
yeah, you can really shape a story the way you want from the early 90s, because there isn't proof of all of it. So right. Yeah, it would be a little more. But when that documentary, that 30 for 30 on ESPN about the U, I thought it was made pretty well.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. That was,
the guy they got into some stuff, but Billy Corbin.
Yeah, he did Cocaine Cowboys. Yeah, that was amazing. And
he's a lunatic, by the way.
They did a follow-up to that as well. But
Yeah,
all
the
right,
U2.
we got to talk too deep before we get going too long. So let's start off. We're talking defense today. We did offense last week. Shawn, eventually I will get your offense too deep, I promise. But we're doing defense today. We're going to run through it. I'll let who wants to lead off with their starters?
Shawn does.
Okay.
Shawn does? Okay.
You want some of this?
Give me your starters and your backups at defensive end. We're just doing too deep.
At defensive end, it's a no-brainer starters, JT and Jack Sawyer. I don't think, if you guys disagree with me on that, you're nuts, unless something happened while I was out of country. And backups there, I got to go Kenyatta because he looks like a beast, and Caden Curry seems the obvious choice there. To probably be right now, if there's a third guy, it's probably Caden Curry, maybe on either side. But that's what I got. Oh, you want me to keep going?
But no, we're just doing DNs. I'm going to let Jeff chime in with his.
Joe, I have the same four. Nothing that I've heard or seen from the spring game or anything reported has led me to believe that there's a different four at the top. Kenyatta has made a jump. Curry, we saw him produce last year when he was on the field, in a little bit. And JT and Jack, Shawn, nothing did happen while you were out of country. JT and Jack are still the starting defensive ends. So I got the same four, and I think that's pretty cut and dry. I don't know who the fifth could be to emerge right now.
I mean, could you guys see if Kenyatta starts going off that he could supplant Sawyer?
Oh yeah, I mean, if he's making plays every time on the field, and he's making splash plays, sacks, strip sacks, whatever. Well, yeah, then he'll earn more playing time. Now, who falls off that he surpasses, we don't know. And plus, injuries and stuff like that. Yeah, he could be. That rotation could really tighten up to 3 or 2 even. Then we're going to be bringing young kids in to back up. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype about Kenyatta.
Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. I can't argue with that starting four. It's just a matter of how deep Coach Johnson wants to go with his rotation. We'll see about that. But this is a solid group of 2 5-star edge rushers and a couple 4-stars. And don't forget about Amari Abor. He's made strides in this spring and summer. So keep him in the back of your mind when guys are getting rotated in as they need a blow and stuff.
I feel like these guys also need to show out. I mean, I feel like this group has underperformed as a group. There's been some great individual play at different moments. But
yes, I agree.
Since Chase Young. And so I think, hey, a lot of talent here right now. I'm as excited about this room as I've been in a couple years anyway.
Wow. Stephen Cherry bringing the boldness already.
Oh shit.
It took him 52 minutes. Kenyatta over Jack for him. Enough of the seniority starts. Wow.
Is he saying over the course of the year he's going to surpass Jack, or he thinks he's going to win the job over Jack? Because it's 2 different things.
He says his choice is Kenyatta over Jack.
Mad Dog Cherry.
Forget the seniority. So I hear a lot of that from a lot of the guys in our community. They're bring on the next guy. And I got a huge question for you guys at the end. So I want to kind of get through our 2 deep here, because there's a huge question at the end that's probably a major debate. And could it be its own show, actually? But anyway, let's talk D-tackle then. Jeff, I'll let you kick this one off with your starting 4. I'll let you add an extra in there if you got guys that are close, but go ahead.
I mean, I think just on talent wise, I think Tyleek and Mike Hall need to be the starters. They need to show their talent and prove that they are the top 2 on the interior. Can they hold up against the run as well as rush the passer? that's the thing as far as, run downs versus passing downs. Mike Hall is a great pass rusher, I think, from the interior, but maybe he lost some playing time to Teron Vincent last year, which is, I don't agree with, but I think maybe they thought Teron was holding up better against the run. But Mike Hall and Tyleek Williams need to move to that upper, like they're a step above. Now, there's a couple guys pushing them. I'll go with Hamilton. What's his name?
All right, Hamilton.
And Hero Canoe. There's been a lot of talk about him coming out of spring. To be honest, I don't know who else. I can't think of a fifth. Same as the DNs, really. I mean,
Well,
you talk about Abor, but
go ahead. I'll let Shawn respond or bring his forward.
I would actually say I agree with you, Jeff. Tyleek and Hall are the two best, but I feel like with Tyleek and Hall, they don't bring it every down. And I feel like those two will probably be stubbing each other more. And I think Ty Hamilton will have that other spot. Hero Canoe, looks good. I think Joe is about to chime in there that the transfer in Tywone Malone.
I blanked on him. I didn't even think about him, but yes, I'm pretty bullish on him too.
And I mean, they like that Jaden McKenzie too, right? So hopefully in a couple of these early games, we get to get into the 3 deep and see some Hero Canoe and Jaden McKenzie dudes. But yeah, I think bringing in Tywone Malone, he's probably my fourth.
Okay. So I feel good about the depth. I mean, that's key.
Yeah.
Having the depth, guys you can rotate in, because again, on the D line, you got to constantly keep guys fresh. But I got a starting 3 at D tackle, and these guys are all going to get the same amount of reps, about 300 on the season, 300 each, with Hall, Tyleek, and Ty Hamilton. Now, where McKenzie, Hero, and Tywone Malone come into play, going to be a lot less. Like I'm talking maybe 100 snaps divvied up between them. Hero Canoe's only a second-year guy. Jaden McKenzie has not done anything whatsoever yet, and he is what is he? Yeah, he's a 2019 guy. So he might have one more COVID year. I mean, but seriously, still hasn't done it in 5 years. I don't know. So that's what I got inside. I'm fine with a rotation of 3 or 4 there. I'm struggling to see a difference between Jaden McKenzie, Hero Canoe, and Tywone Malone. They all seem like kind of the same guy. Tywone Malone did nothing at Ole Miss.
And he was playing baseball too, right? Like he was splitting time.
Sure. Right.
That's just crazy that a defensive tackle at Ole Miss was also playing baseball. But but he's younger. He's younger than you said. McKenzie's a 2019 guy. I'll take, if you consider them both at the same level, I'll take the younger guy over the established guy if he's not improved his standing. So what does that give us with Larry Johnson's rotation? Is that what we're counting? That's like 7 out of the starting 4. That's like a 7-man rotation. 8 maybe. But that's what it's been most years, right? 8 or 9 is what Johnson usually runs on regular rotations.
No, well, not for the bulk of the snaps. I mean, we're doing
I would say
deep here.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, aside from like a Chase Young or something like that, that's going to play it down, or a Bosa. But a lot of those snaps are divvied up in those interior spots most years.
Oh yeah.
Jaden McKenzie did actually have reps with the ones in spring. So maybe he gets, I don't know, maybe he gets preferential treatment over Hero Canoe. I don't know. And Tywone Malone too. I don't know. We'll see. But let's see, just checking for any updates on the commitment front. Nothing yet. Let me check the comments here. We got Oh, Matthew Miller, what's up, man? Good to see you. Get these D booms going. I know, man. Travis, who's a boy from Ole Miss? Yeah, that's Taiwan Malone. Again, didn't do anything there yet. He's just a depth piece for now, in my opinion.
1 year at Ole Miss, right, Joe? 1 year?
2.
I thought he's a 1 year.
He was a 22 guy. Malone. Where's Malone? No, he was a 2021 guy. So
okay,
this is his 3rd year.
So we have 2 years of eligibility with him. I got you.
Yeah, right. So we'll see. Linebacker.
Yep.
Let's get to linebackers. Probably not a huge shocker here, but Shawn, you want to lead this one off?
Sure. We're just, we can say what we want and play around with this, right? So I will go with my
Play with
boy
whatever
Tommy
you want, Shawn.
Eichenberg, anchor of the D. I hate the dog on my boy Steel Chambers. I've loved him since the beginning, but I want to see my boy Hicks in there. It's probably not going to happen to start the season, but again, I would not be surprised by the end of the season that CJ Hicks is in that weak side linebacker spot. So anyway, I'll go Eichenberg, Hicks, starting behind Hicks. I'll put Chambers, and then
You just said CJ Hicks is starting.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
I can pick what I want, right?
It's your
That's
world,
what I
yeah.
picked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hicks is starting.
All right.
Chambers behind him, Eichenberg starting, and everyone's gonna want to put Cody there. He hasn't done nothing his whole career. Carrico, I want to put him there. He hasn't done nothing. I don't know. I only got a top 3.
No, I just felt it move. Well, Cody, I think, is probably backing up Tommy at the middle. That's what he played last year with that bad shoulder. But yeah, I got no problem with that. Jeff, what do you have for your starting or your 2 deep?
We're looking at starting of the season, and I'm right with you, Shawn. I think CJ Hicks, when you look at total snaps by the end of the year, CJ Hicks might have more than Steele. But I think week 1 against Indiana, we're going to see Steel Chambers and Eichenberg. If they're in a 2 linebacker set, I think those are the 2 we see. I think Cody Simon is backing up as long as he's healthy, which is always an issue with Cody Simon. The shoulder and
I think
other issues he's had.
Healthy, yeah.
I mean, like, can he consistently stay healthy?
Right.
So, but I say Cody Simon and CJ Hicks are 3 and 4, or they're both number 2 at their respective positions. But I agree with Shawn. I could see total snaps by the end of the year, CJ Hicks outplaying Chambers. And I think I could also picture CJ Hicks showing so much and Chambers kind of holding on to his spot that they just figure out a way to just get Hicks on the field, maybe even with Chambers or with Eichenberg. You know what I mean? Like they're all 3 of them are playing great. We got to get Hicks on the field. He's a 5-star 2nd year in the program. That dude better be out. But he better be earning a spot. You know what I mean? Just for his sake. Steel Chambers is a linebacker in high school, tailback at Ohio State, moved to linebacker, made great strides, and I love Steel Chambers. I think he's great. But you have I think you have a special kid right behind him that he's going to need to get on the field. So, but I think week 1 Indiana, I think we see Chambers and Eichenberg, but I think the other 2 both see a lot of time.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cut and dry. I don't. Then you throw in Carrico in the middle, and I don't even know who the 3rd outside or weak side guy would be.
Okay.
I would put Sonny Styles as a 3rd weak side linebacker over whoever they might have in the linebacker room.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we can get to the safeties in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I would say Simon gets overlooked a little bit.
Because of health. He misses a lot of time, I think. I think that's a lot of why people overlooking because they don't count on him being healthy.
He played all of 2021 with a shoulder harness because he had a torn rotator cuff, got surgery before the Rose Bowl against Utah. Missed the Rose Bowl, obviously.
Yeah, our tight end played linebacker.
Eichenberg came in. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cade played linebacker there. But anyway, CJ, I think he's more of a factor in a rotation with Steele. I'm not sure he's going to overtake Steele for that starting job. That's a tough move. Steele had over 600 snaps last year, man. He played virtually every game, every snap. Same with Tommy. It's going to take like moving mountains to unseat Steele from his starting job. But I see a rotation where Steele is more limited, doesn't play 600 snaps a game, and CJ rotates in occasionally, at that position. Also, CJ is utilized at the jack. Jim Knowles has talked about that in spring and now in the summer interviews they just had a couple of weeks ago, that CJ is an option at the jack. So depending on how much they utilize it. So that determines everything. But
and by him, but Joe, real quick, by CJ moving, playing in that jack position, that pulls Sawyer off the field, correct? As the rush end,
it pulls somebody off the field, whether it's you want to remove a safety or a D lineman. Yeah,
right. And that could change. That could change week to week, game plan. Offense to offense. I got you. So yeah, he might not be taking all the snaps away from Steele. He might be taking some snaps away from Sawyer, maybe from Cam Martinez or whatever. Yeah, right. I got you.
Yeah, the jack was originally when Knowles was with other teams. It was a weak side D end that wasn't really a D end. So it was the weak side guy on the edge.
Pass rushing skills, but can also drop and play in space.
And
right?
It was designed to really shut down the run, which doesn't make sense to have a lighter guy, but being able to line him up all over the field is different. But the Buckeyes don't run that. They run a 4 down front, so it's different. But anyway, we got to keep moving. Cornerback. Let's go to corner. Shawn, let's kick this one off with your rotation.
All right. So I gotta go with Denzel Burke and Jordan Hancock to start the year. That being said, with everything that I've heard about him, I think Igbino's son is going to take one of their jobs by midseason. Such a tough position at Ohio State. You're going to get thrown on, and there's going to be missteps, and there'll be opportunities for Igbino's son to take one of those. Kind of like the other linebacker position, I don't really have a top 4. Anybody after those 3 scares me a little bit. I know there's some talent there, but I don't know who I'd put at that 4 spot. I mean that's throwing darts completely.
What do you got, Jeff?
I kind of think you're right, Shawn. I think the number 4 corner is kind of like there's probably 3 guys that are pretty even with it. I got Hancock and Denzel starting the season. My prediction would be, and how I want it to play out, Hancock becomes like a Marshawn Lattimore, injuries, and then blows up when he finally gets healthy and plays the full season. Yeah. Hancock, but I'm predicting that Hancock or Burke, one of them 2, does not play 12 games, and Igbinosun will thrive when he is in there. I think we're going to see a lot more 3 corners than we are 3 safeties, because I think Igbinosun will make that choice for for Knowles. I think Igbinosun could be solid. He's got the length, like we always talk about, kind of like a Garyon Conley, But they say his attitude and the way he his physicality, and the want to be physical. I think it's going to fit in with our defense. So I could see Igbinosun challenging snaps to one of those guys, just because I'm expecting one of them to not be healthy all year. Burke can play himself into a first round, top 20 pick if he plays to what we think his capability is. I can't. Hancock, we haven't seen him enough. We've seen very little glimpses of him. Well, so we can't expect him to play, a full season. We haven't seen it, so I'm not expecting it.
He's got the skill set.
Oh yeah, sure. I think they could both. I think he could have a season like Lattimore did, if he's healthy. But I'm not expecting it. So
I mean, he only had basically what turned out to be half a season of health, and that was the second half. He missed all of fall camp with the hamstring and the first 6 weeks of the regular season. So it's basically 3 months.
Yeah,
he missed.
And so if I'm,
yeah,
you want my fourth, Joe? My fourth, you draw a name out of the hat. I say Jair Brown.
Okay, that seems.
It's put him, Igbenogson 3, right. Pushing the person 2, and Jair Brown is.
I like what you said,
Joe, who knows?
Or Jeff. I think that what you said there's going to be 3 corners rather than 3 safeties. I think Igbenogson, I might move him down to that other safety spot because he's a thumper too.
Yeah, he's got
the nickel safety. Sure. It's a corner. I mean, Cam Martinez. Why are you calling him a safety? It's a fucking corner. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. Like, I don't know. I don't know why they say it's 3 safeties. He's the nickel DB. He covers the slot. It's
right.
It's usually a corner. And I think Igbenogson, I don't know, but I'm not dogging Cam Martinez. I'm just saying, like, I don't think you need to claim him as a third safety. He's a third corner.
Right. Okay. For corners, to finish that up, I just want to see hands on balls. That is all I've ever wanted. And
there's bars in St. Pete. You can see that every night, Joe.
I know. Where do you think I go?
Hey.
But anyway, I think this room is super confident right now. And I think Igbenogson is bringing that to the table.
I agree.
Just his physical size and stature and everything. And I think he is bringing a lot of swagger, confidence. And I think this is a rotation of 3 too. Also not 2, but I feel really good about. I feel like this is one of the major strengths of the defense with Igbenogson in there. If nothing else, he adds quality depth.
Yes.
So, all right. Let's go to safety, and we're going to include the nickel, whether you want to throw a corner in there or not. But let's go 3 safeties: adjuster, bandit, so field, strong, and then slot /nickel. Jeff, go ahead.
Strong, Sonny Styles. I want to see Sonny Styles. Put him on the goddamn field. Let's figure it out. Let him figure it out. I don't. Proctor, no. If it comes down to whether playing just Styles or Proctor, I'll pick Styles now. But Proctor plays the adjuster, correct? The deep.
This is all up for grabs. That's where he practiced in the spring. Yeah.
Okay. And who else did they have at the strong besides Styles?
Ransom.
I think sorry, Lathan Ransom. I don't know. I would like to if they move Ransom to the strong because they don't feel confident with him playing the adjuster. I get it. We saw that he's had problems with the deep ball. I don't think Proctor's a better replacement for him. I would put Styles closer to the box, closer to the line of scrimmage, and I would put Ransom deep, and I would put Cam Martinez just because of his unbelievable athletic ability. Dude never played defense before, in high school.
Right.
But I think if those are our 3, if you're going 3 safeties, I say Cam, Ransom, and Styles, and you just figure it out. They're all athletic enough; they can fucking move around and play each position. I think. But I put Styles in. You got to play Sonny Styles. I got to see this kid. He's fucking special.
Yeah, Jim Knowles just said last week that he can play all 3 safety positions. Sonny Styles.
Yeah.
Can. So.
And I got a prediction for later in the show, Joe. I got a prediction for Styles in next year. But okay. Go ahead. We'll get that later.
So that's surprising that they've practiced Sonny Styles at the adjuster, deepest, where he's furthest away from the ball. But Shawn, I'll let you go ahead with yours.
I mean, I agree with most of what you guys said. I think game one, though, it is going to be the senior brigade out there with Ransom, Proctor, and Martinez in the three spots, just because Sonny he's the most talented of all of them. And I don't even think it's necessarily that close. But I don't know if the trust factor's there with him. Again, the talent is otherworldly, and he will make it on there. But he's not going to start the season, I don't think. Who would be my other guys? I think that Jihad Carter has a decent chance of taking one of those spots, maybe over Cam Martinez. First of all,
how's he coming back from the injury, Joe? The injury he had right before the spring game, or in the spring game, I mean, or Jihad Carter. It was a knee, it was a minor. They thought it was a knee, like a minor knee injury or whatever.
He's fine.
So, okay. Yeah, I agree, Shawn. Yeah, Jihad in the two deep and Proctor in the two deep. Yeah.
So, and is anything ever going to happen with Court Williams? Yeah. Does he transfer out? I mean, what, he stuck around, so maybe he sees some. I would have thought he would have transferred. Was kind of where he's sitting. You
can't transfer when you're injured, though. Who's going to take you when you're out for the season? It's not.
That doesn't do any good.
They said
middle of the year, but
Court Williams was going to be a future captain at Ohio State. They said
he's a 2020 guy, so he's coming into his fourth season. It's been unfortunate, but yeah, I can't put him into a two deep at all.
No, but they say he's a great locker room guy. He's great for the he's a great leader and everything else. Yeah, right, exactly. Right. He's great for the room, so they want to keep him as an insurance policy. Hey, if he ever gets healthy and we ever lose a couple guys, we know Court will be solid enough, but he's not on the level anymore of the rest of these guys. The guys that above him. So there would be a drop off, but yeah, I think they would love to keep him. But yeah, I don't think we see Court much. He probably is like a special teams fucking demon, I'm probably playing all of the special teams, and just a great leader. Right.
But let's finish up on safeties here. If you're going to tell me that Sonny Styles can play all three positions at safety, I got to put him at the Bandit. I think that's the only logical choice. I know Lathan Ransom put on some weight. He put on about 10 pounds. He's up over 205 because they want him to play inside, but I don't agree with that. I thought Ransom was much better at the field, the deep safety.
Until he gave up the deep touchdowns. Well, but you're right. I think I agree with you that
on the line of scrimmage, they lined up a receiver over him. He had to come up. He was not deep. He was not the deep safety.
Right. I got you. I got you. So, but I agree with you. Styles up needs to be up.
Unfortunately, I got to say Proctor is out of my lineup. He's in
no
my
too deep,
but he's out of my starting lineup. I got Ransom deep. I got Sonny Styles at the Bandit, the strong safety, and then in the slot, I got to go Jihad Carter. The guy's played almost 30 games in games.
Over Cam. Okay.
He's played in this defense before for multiple years. He's a stud. He's like he's got so much better tape out there than Cam Martinez. It's not even close. Now, if something happens and Carter just is not getting it or something's wrong with him, like I said, the knee's 100%, so that's not an issue right now. But I don't know how you start Cam Martinez other than just going with the guy that's been there for a long time.
But in the potential of, we know he's a great athlete.
Yeah,
if he doesn't start at
the
slot corner
on the field,
he should be our goddamn punt returner. I would say if we're gonna go depth on special teams on the two deep, he should be the punt returner, not our starting receivers.
Right. All right. So to finish up, this is how I want to close the show. And it's probably I'm gonna have to cut you guys off, I'm sure. Is there a world where CJ Hicks and Sonny Styles are both starters in 2023.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Easily.
Give me-
I
give me a
actually
week.
expect it. I expect it
Give me
at
a
some
week
point.
number.
And you say like
1,
starters, like
5,
I mean,
10.
like the first play of the game, that can all be determined by formation too. If like say
Opponent,
Wisconsin comes out in
of
4
course,
wide,
yeah.
they're not going to have, I don't know. I mean, you could have 3 corners and 2 safeties on there, and maybe Styles isn't playing the first play, but he's plays 90% of the game. So like just the starters, I mean, like are the guys that you will see more consistently, not just the first play of the game. That's I don't consider. Well, this guy didn't start. He wasn't out there in the first play. Well, maybe because of formation wise and packages, he's not in there, but he's going to be in there 90% of the game. So I definitely I say Styles and CJ Hicks by the end of the year. I think could be by midseason. Not including injuries. I think talent wise, maybe they if they stay healthy, their production could move them both to starters by maybe week 5, week 6.
5.
I could see it.
Five's my number.
What's Notre Dame's week 4, right? Who's week 5? I don't even know. I didn't look.
It's a Big Ten team.
But I think that's the key. I think you'll have that Notre Dame. It'll be a big game, and they're both going to have downs in that game. Probably plenty of action, and I expect them to earn their spot to be good up to that point, and then solidify that they're the guy against Notre Dame, week 5.
So we're both expecting them to live up to the hype and the rating that they had coming out of high school as elite 5-star.
I think it's going to be easier for Hicks than it is for Sonny. Sonny's got a
he's 18 too.
Know that defense.
Like, he might be 19 by now, but he's young. I mean, he's young as shit. But
2 months ago, they were saying about how much Sonny is really good, but doesn't isn't always in the right position. And now you're telling me he knows all 3. I mean, how well does he know all 3? He didn't know any of them 2 months ago. So,
right.
I'm not.
So week 5 technically is a bye for the Buckeyes. September 30th, the week after Notre Dame. October 7th is our game 5 against Maryland in Columbus. So if you're looking to peg a game that's
a heavy passing 5. Offense, right? Spread offense.
Exactly.
A lot of 4 receivers.
I'll back mine to 6 then. Game 6.
Yeah, right. Against Purdue, they're at Purdue.
They're gonna sling it too. Brom's gonna be slinging it.
Can't win. Well, he's not there anymore.
Oh, fuck, he isn't. Oh, who does Purdue have now as coach? I didn't even know Brom left. Did he go back to Louisville or something?
I think so. Ryan Walters.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who cares? It doesn't matter. A shitty ass Big Ten. The bottom of our conference sucks.
So
Hate
Jeff,
it.
what's your week number? If Shawn's picking week 6 for CJ and Sonny to start, what's your week number?
Well, if I got to predict weeks that they become starters, I'm not picking them both the same week.
No, this is the
by
question.
which week?
Oh, by which week are they both starters? Okay, by which week are they both starters?
Yeah.
I will say by the Purdue game. So week 7, it's week 7, but the 6th game, correct? Is that right?
Week 6. That's week 6, game 6. Game 5. I don't know.
You said we had a bye after Notre Dame. So that puts us at that's 5. That's the 5th week. Maryland. Basic math. I mean,
it's a 6
public school kid, but okay.
So
yeah, I say coming out of the Purdue game, they're both starters the following week. Whoever we're playing after Purdue, they're both starting.
Everybody says Stephen Cherry, week 1, of course, coming over the
Mad
top,
Dog,
Mad Dog Cherry turnbuckle.
I'd be so excited if I see those two starting week 1 because I'm like they're ready. If they're starting week 1, they are ready.
Odysseus says versus Youngstown State, which is week 2. Okay. We're getting a variety of answers here.
And we're not. None of us are factoring in injuries. You know, injuries could
Paul Buckeye,
would dress
see
code
you.
change all this.
Right. Sorry, I got excited.
Yeah, you just yelled in my ear.
Styles we got Daniel. Daniel says Styles will finish the season as a starter. Hicks will get a lot of playing time, but does not say they will both start. Interesting.
Like you said, I mean,
Travis,
a total
point.
snaps at the end of the year will kind of tell us, you know.
Mm-hmm. Travis says Sonny played a lot against Georgia, which tells me they trust him. Yeah, he only actually played 12 snaps though, and that was once Darnell Washington, the tight end, got hurt.
Yep.
He was out. Once he got hurt, he was out for the rest of the game, and Sonny was done. Sonny didn't play a lot after that.
I think people have that in their head because he was in the red zone. Yeah, he was playing in the red zone defense when Georgia was down inside the 20. So it kind of made it appear like he had been playing, you know, a lot more. But you're right, Joe. Like they're using Sonny as the matchup for that fucking monster, Washington.
Tyrone, appreciate you. Thanks. He says, great show, guys. Peace, everyone. Appreciate you, Tyrone.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Joe, what are we drinking tonight? Real quick.
I just finished some Buffalo. I just ordered another sixer of Buffalo. Supposed to be here Thursday.
Okay. I'm out of Buffalo. Won't you send one of those bottles over here to North Orlando?
All right. You got it.
Cool. All right. Appreciate it. Awesome. Yeah. Shawn, what do you got in your cup?
I've got some Blanton's Black from.
That's right, the Blanton's Black.
Fresh back from Japan.
Okay. I'm going with the Basil Hayden, the dark rye tonight. Little rye guy tonight.
Okay.
I still haven't tried that one.
I love it, man. The Sazerac is good. I don't know. It's a coin flip between the two of them. If you're looking at ryes.
Oh, I disagree 100% there.
Which one are you taking, Joe?
Sazerac all day.
Are you
Basil?
How much of a?
I'm not.
How big of a rye guy are you?
Give me that Angel's Envy rye.
I have not had the Angel's Envy rye. I'm not too big on the bourbon straight. But I'll try the rye though.
Angels is like syrup, man. That's like a cup of maple syrup.
It is sweet. It is sweet.
I like that Willet rye. Shawn, you like that, right?
I've not tried that. I've got a bottle of Willet unopened. It's kind of saving it for something nice to happen.
I just polished mine off, cleared out. It made enough room for like 4 bottles in my bar. That wide ass on it. Billy, appreciate you. He says, keep up the great work.
Cheers.
Billy. Giving you all the recruiting stuff you want. Again, whoever wants a free membership to the TBC Friends community here on YouTube, hit me up. I got back at the very beginning here, I got Steven Cherry wants it. Travis wants it.
Oh yeah.
Who else? Anybody else want a free membership? 1 month. Check out the community. You got to just go to the Buckeye Cast channel, click on the community tab. It's like basically a message board, but nicer. And all my posts are there. If you're a member, you see a lot more content, like daily recruiting stuff. I've got 10 highlight videos of recruits from 24 and 25, Buckeye targets and Buckeye commits both. I'm adding stuff daily. So I'll give you a free membership if you want it. Sean Duffy, who the hell are you? You sure you're on the right channel? You guys know Sean Duffy?
Old man Duffy's boy. Yeah. He's from Millersburg, I think.
Yeah. Right. All right, Sean Duffy, I got you. I'll hook you up.
Joe, are you going to give them access to your OnlyFans page as well?
Sure.
Telling you, hey, Buckeye guys out there, Mad Dog, Cherry, Tyrone, everybody, check out Joe's OnlyFans.
Who the fuck's Mad Dog?
Mad Dog Cherry, man. That's all I'm going with. Steven Mad Dog Cherry.
Oh,
I love that guy.
Nickname. All right.
Yeah, he earned it.
Sounds good. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys. Oh, Sean Duffy's from Centerville, Circle City. All right.
Centerville, yeah. They got a hell of a team over there. They got a hell of a program, football and basketball.
All right. Appreciate everybody joining us. We will talk to you later. Steven, appreciate you. Everybody else, Matthew, Travis, all you guys, Odysseus, thanks for hopping in here. If I miss anybody, I apologize. Daniel, appreciate the super chat. Keep them coming.
Hell yeah.
Folks, follow Daniel's lead. Temper, can't forget you. I feel like I'm on Romper Room and I'm just leaving somebody out.
Romper Room. Oh
Travis,
shit, I
of
remember
course.
Romper Room. Oh my God, throwback.
Paul Buckeye. Oh, Paul Buckeye. Where's badass Buckeye? Missed that guy tonight. Where's he at? Paul wants my hat. Google it. I'll send you a link, Paul. Anyways, appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you later. Go Bucks. Jeff and Shawn, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one, man.
Yo.
Later.